So multiple countries have now announced lockdowns, and many are going towards mandatory screening as far as mpox. Now, we're going to break all this down in just a moment. I want to explain what countries are potentially going to lock down, which countries, which airports are putting in mandatory screening and testing, and what this means for you and I moving forward. We even have a statement from the CDC who says that schools will not lock down. But I want to break down why they're saying this and what this means, because again, this is good news. The CDC has somewhat learned from their past disasters, and so now they're coming out and saying that no, schools will not be on lockdown. So I'm going to break down why this is in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates, and now let's begin. So let's jump right into it. The first thing that you need to understand is that nations have already come out and announced that they will go under a lockdown, a quarantining process, if they do see the mpox virus surge. But here's the key. Mpox can easily be detected. Okay, it's visual, and if you are not in contact, physical contact with a person that has mpox, then you won't get it. At least that's according to the reports today. Now, the mpox virus can mutate and could eventually spread just like COVID did, but the CDC, the World Health Organization, and multiple experts say that mpox is completely different. It's a different animal, and this is something that we would not need to worry about. But I want to show you what's happening. Look at this. Spain on high alert as major airport to enforce controls to stop mpox spread as experts warn of explosion of cases. Says the UK has yet to tighten any controls as cases of the mutant variant continue to rise across the world. Now, why is this happening all of a sudden? This is happening. Okay, these mandatory screenings are happening. Look at this. Singapore sets up precautionary border screenings for mpox virus. Says airports and sea checkpoints to step up screening on Friday. Measures come as Thailand detects first mutated strain in Asia. I told you this was going to spread. It wasn't going to be something that is just going to be contained in Congo. This was going to spread because people were traveling. Okay, there wasn't lockdowns. There wasn't any quarantining process. Right? This was going to spread. But it's what the CDC said. Okay, and I want to break this down. The CDC says there's no plans to close schools in the event of an mpox outbreak. But why? Okay, now if you watch YouTube, you watch TikTok, you watch Instagram, Facebook, all these things, people are coming out and saying, oh, you need to get your mask, you need to get medication, you need to go and get the vaccine, you need to do this and this and this. Here's the truth. Okay, what this person said, I thought was smart. Okay, what this person said, look at this. It says this is not like COVID, where there's nothing visible on somebody. You can actually see the lesions on somebody. Unless you're directly touching them, you're not going to get infected. That is as of today. Okay? The mpox virus can mutate. Okay? It can become even deadlier. Right? There are obviously some issues here. But as of right now, the mpox vaccine, the mpox virus that we know, we can detect it by visually looking. So guess what? When school starts up, some people are already in school, but when school starts up and maybe it's starting to go around the United States, schools will just have to say, hey, well, let me see your arms. Hey, just lift up your shirt. Let me see your back, your stomach, right? No big deal. Okay? And then we go into school. Yeah, it's inconvenience, right? But is this something that's going to keep you locked in your home for 2 weeks or potentially 3 years? No. Is it going to shut down businesses? No. But here's what it will do. Okay, and all because of what we are seeing, the spread. This article from CNBC from yesterday says new deadlier mpox found in Thailand. Yeah, because it was found in Thailand, because it's going to spread now, because again, keep in mind, when it hits one country, especially if that country's a hub and people travel from that country. Congo wasn't really that country, but now it's starting to get around. Even Turkey, look at this. Istanbul airport monitoring passengers from 12 African countries for symptoms of mpox. Again, this is an inconvenience. These are mandatory screenings. You come in from Congo, guess what? You're going to get screened. You will get a temperature check, and you will get a visual inspection. That's what they're going to do. If you come in from a country that has a decent amount of cases. Now, the United States, though, and again, pretty much the majority of my audience, 99% of you guys are from the U.S. or some from Canada. Here's what's going to happen. We are going to see mandatory screenings. If you come in from a specific country, you will be screened. Now, what happens when we see more cases here in the U.S.? Well, there will be mandatory screenings. What we've already heard from some business experts and magazines and not really magazines, online magazines and different interviews and stuff is there's already some discussions about we are going to see a inspection process happen at the door to things like hotel rooms, okay, obviously airports, some restaurants, right, events. If you have a bunch of spots on your arms or your neck or something, you will be stopped. You'll be stopped at the door, taken aside, and you will have an inspection. They will look at you and see, do you have a fever? Okay, you do? Well, that's a little bit worrisome right there. Do you have lesions on your body? If you do, yeah, you're going to be pushed aside. You'll be pushed aside, and they will have somebody deal with you. That's what's going to happen. Now, is this a good thing? Is this bad? Let me know your thoughts. Would you rather go and the U.S. government says, you know what? We've had enough. We are going to lock down. Or would you rather have the U.S. government come out and say, all right, we are not going to lock down. We know how this spreads. We know more about mpox than we did about COVID, for sure. COVID is something that was something we couldn't see. We didn't know if somebody had COVID unless they were tested. And by the time they were tested, got the results back, and if they just decided to quarantine, more people could have been infected. But with mpox, it's completely different, okay? It's visual. We can see it as of now. So, this is why I'm bringing this to your attention. Many nations have already said that they plan on locking down in the event they see cases surge, okay? They do not want, especially if you are butting up against another country. For example, we've already heard from Afghanistan, Pakistan. They have both said if they see cases surge in nearby countries, they will lock down their borders, not let anybody in or out. Okay? More nations have come out and said that they would lock down their borders if they see cases are surging around the world. As of right now, we are not seeing that yet, but nations already have it as a plan. They will lock down. Temporarily, they're going from we will not lock down to we are going to conduct mandatory screenings from specific countries that have higher case numbers. So, that is what I want to share with you guys today. I know a lot of people are still traveling, trying to get through their last little bit of summer travel before school and work starts up. So if that is you, just be careful. Just understand you may go into an airport and see a new little setup where it's a mandatory screening process. So that is what we have for you guys today. Again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.